Everyone, welcome to Samoa and welcome to Vaoala Vanilla, and I'm happy to be back here with you again for the year 2022. There's a cluster of flowers. So this one's been pollinated. This one will open maybe tomorrow. These have been unsuccessful, or like I said in many of my other videos, I purposely don't pollinate them because I can see that this vine is actually a small one. It's not that healthy like the big green ones like this one. So if I pollinate too many flowers on that, the beans are going to be small. So I'm better off just letting a lot of them fall off, not pollinating them, and just pollinating a couple, just so that you can get nice long beans. There's some here, and I'll just move that. You can see some more beans in there that are growing. So you see this one's actually only got two beans on it. And again, I do that purposely just so that I end up with nice long beans instead of a lot of short beans. Here you can actually, these beans are almost ready. You'll see that they're a different color. They're more yellowy compared to brand new beans like these. These are bright green, and these still have a few months before we can harvest them. So they're bright green, but these ones here, they're more yellow, and that means that they're almost ready to be harvested. And how you know when to harvest them, they need to go bright yellow down the bottom there. So these are almost there, but not quite. And many vanilla farmers are very tempted to just pick. I've seen vanilla farmers pick the whole stem from here. So you've got green, you've got ripe ones, because like I said before, they don't all ripen at the same time. Each one ripens at a different stage. And I honestly don't see how you can take a whole stem of green vanilla and then expect it to give the beautiful vanilla taste and aroma that everyone wants. So my way of harvesting is not harvesting the whole stalk like that, the whole stem. I actually come out and hand harvest individual beans that are ready. And that's why my harvesting takes so long, over months, because I don't rush the process, and I allow the beans to ripen properly on the vine instead of artificially ripening them or forcing them to go yellow in the sun. I mean, once you take all of these out. These are a nice bunch. Yeah. So, and like I said, anything with beans, anything with flowers, we are unable to do any maintenance to these vines because we will stress them out. So whilst the vines, the vines might look a bit, overgrown, the trees need to be pruned back. We just have to be patient and allow the beans to grow properly, and then we can come in and do all of our maintenance work. I am starting to grow new vanilla, so new cuttings there. This is the time, this is the month to be growing new cuttings. It's also the month where we do looping, and looping is, so I'm holding on to a large, long, beautiful vine here. See how thick, lush and green that is? That's a very healthy vine. And see how long it is? It goes all the way up there. So looping is when we bring it, see how it's come down, right down to the bottom, and then you place it and you would put pulu, coconut husks, over the bottom there, and allow the roots to start growing down the bottom and allow that one to come back up again. So that's what we're doing this month, is looping and just continuing on with the rest of the pollination and coming back to check on the beans that might be ready for harvesting. It's like a natural steroid. Look at these vines. These vines are 1.5 years old. They are just, they're thick, big, nice green leaves, beautiful new growth. So they're very healthy and they're really loving this whole new environment that I've put them in. See that? And they're actually, so I've been looping these. You'll see one here. This one is almost ready to be looped, but I'm just going to let it sit there for a little bit to get a little bit more growth so I can happily put it under. I don't want to force it down and potentially break it. But look, they're starting to fill up the spaces in the middle, and that's what I wanted. So in actual fact, a lot of these vines, I can start the flower induction in May, which is the month that you do your flower induction. And how you do flower induction is you stress the vine. So I would go to a nice healthy vine like this one. See how nice and thick that is, but you see how it has, I haven't actually looped it that much. See how it might look nice and healthy, but down here it's only been looped once. So I would probably leave that one and let it come down and loop it one more time. But for those that I have looped a lot, I'll just find them like this one. So this one I've just looped. You can see how it's gone through the pulu here. There's one end there, then the pulu is on top, and then it's come up here, and I've just tied it to keep it to get up. And this is the new growth there. There's the new growth there. Now come May, that particular vine would be all the way up. It would have come to the top, and I would have had it come down again. So what I would do in May is tip that right off from there. And you don't need to use any tools, you just break it. And then that tells the vine to stop growing and instead produce little flower buds in the leaves. So that's what we call induction. And that's what I will start doing for a lot of these vines in May, because they are just growing so fast. This row here, these vines are only about 7, maybe 7, 8 at the most, 8 months old. They might even be only 5 months old. I'll have to look at my dates again when I planted them. So they're going through their second, some of them are going through their second stage of looping, like that one. Some are on their first stage where they're just starting to go up, and then they're starting to come down. And then we have some that didn't take the first time, so we planted additional cuttings, but there's new growth happening right there. There's a new vine growing out of the leaf there. So that's just started. Here's some more that are just on their first looping. So the first vine growing up, and they're on their first loop here. So they're gone to the top, and then we're hanging them down to come down to the bottom again. So these are fairly new. There's some nice thick ones here. See these? Look at that. Look how thick that is. Very, very healthy. And they're all clinging to one another, so they're creating a lot of aerial roots like this, and they're actually clinging. See how that one's clinging? Yeah, they're clinging to one another, as well as creating a beautiful root system in the ground. So you can see some vanilla roots growing there. I'll find some more. Here's some. That's a vanilla root, and it's gone into the pulu, and you just keep them covered. I can feel the moisture, so the pulu is really good where it keeps all the moisture in, like that. Once they go really dry and old, that's when you know that you need to put fresh pulu on, so that it continues to retain the moisture, so that for those dry days it's going to keep the roots nice and moist and protected from the sun. So you can see that's a vanilla root growing on the top of the pulu, and there's vanilla. You see that? That's a vanilla root growing there. So that's what vanilla does. It has its aerial roots and its ground roots. And really, it is the ground roots that really strengthens the vanilla and makes it healthy like this. So I'm really excited about this new venture. And I did this pole. This is where I want it to hang, but it's growing up. So all I do is just gently take it down and encourage it to come down, to grow down. And I've actually tied it with some string there just to hold it to the top and then allow it to come down. So yeah, so this is my shade structure.